Hello guys, welcome to the forecast. So this one is for Friday, final day of the week, and I'm not trading today since it is NFP. So NFP Fridays I don't trade, that's usually the first Friday of the month. And I also wanted to say I did start a new $100,000 challenge at FTMO with a trade I took yesterday. So doing a challenge now, another one. So let's see what will happen. And now let's get into the forecast. So this is the euro and the US dollar. What I was seeing right here, so at this point I was looking for a trade. I was seeing this really nice impulse to a downside as I talked about yesterday. So we reached the upper liquidity area, which was right here, and then we ascended, reversed down. So that usually gives us a really nice trend to a downside, which we then got. So we got a nice push, pullback, a really nice push, clean close, pullback, no momentum shift, continued with 2 candles, got a clean close, so almost no wick. At this point I was definitely looking for a trade, but the next candle was a warning sign, we got a wick. So at this point I was searching for more of a range, which we unfortunately didn't get. What we did get was an aggressive retrace with this candle, so that negated the trade for me. And I stayed out of this particular pair. Then we broke the low, retraced, broke the high, and retraced, left a huge wick. So this is not a good sign. This is actually a sign that we will be range bound. How did I deduce that one? Well, we had a descending right here, and then we broke the high, retraced with a wick. So we broke and retraced here, broke and retraced here, which usually gives us a larger range. So especially because this is the end of the week, and on Mondays and Tuesdays markets are predominantly range bound. I'm expecting more range bound price action. What I am looking for is a nice clean ascending and then a reversal to the downside, something like this, or a nice clean descending structure and then a nice reversal to the upside, something like that. Of course I'm looking for a large push up as always, then a flag, or a large push down and then a nice clean flag. Or I would like to see a V reversal, a really common and high probability pattern where we get a V, then we get a range, and then we continue down. Then I look for a flag, I look for a nice trend to start to the downside when I see this sort of a pattern. That's about it for the euro and the US dollar. As I said, I liked this trending price action, but then we just had this messy break and retrace of the low, break and retrace of the high. So let's now continue with the euro and the Japanese yen. We finally did break out of this range, but we broke and retraced, which is not a good sign. That is actually a sign that we will continue to stay range bound, something like this. As we can see, prior price action was heavily range bound. I think it will continue, especially because Mondays and Tuesdays, as I said, are predominantly range bound days. So there is a liquidity area right here on the top. And if we do ascend with some clean price action, so something like this, into the upper liquidity area, I am looking for that nice reversal. Or if we descend, I will look for a reversal to the upside and then a nice trade. Also, I am looking for that V like this, then a small range, and then a continuation to a downside, and then a nice clean flag. And of course, as always, I'm looking for a large push up, then a flag. I want this price action to move away from this range, to move away from the upper liquidity area, to give me that nice conviction and some good price action. And of course I'm looking for a large impulse up and then a nice trade, a continuation to a downside or a flag, whatever opportunity I get. So here we have the Aussie and the US dollar, and I was in a short trade right here. So let me take this back. It was unfortunately a 1% loss. So what I was seeing right here, I was seeing this really nice push to a downside. I was seeing a push, pullback, no momentum shift, continuation, a huge drop, clean close, and then we got a bit of a wick. We got a large wick right here, and then a flag formed. This would be the entry candle. So as you can see, we did form a nice flag. What I really liked about this flag is that I saw no momentum shift, because when you compare these 3 candles to this huge impulse, they're much smaller. So for me, this was a no momentum shift trade, and it was a nice small flag. I usually don't take larger flags, so if it was a big flag like this, I would stay out. But since it was a small tight flag, I'm happy to take that risk. So I placed a 1% risk short. This was the entry candle, the first bearish candle after the flag forms. And this trade, with this trade, I started the $100,000 FTMO challenge. So let's see what will happen in the future. Currently in a 1% loss, unfortunately. But that is normal. It's just a part of trading. Of course, losses are going to be there. Actually, some strategies even have more losses than wins. But when you win, you get 5%, and when you lose, you get only 1% loss. So that's where the statistics come into play. Then we broke the low and we retraced. So currently, I am expecting to see more of a range, because we just broke the low and retraced. I am looking if we get a nice ascending and then a reversal to the downside. I'm looking for a flag. Or if we get a nice clean descending, as we just started to form, I'm looking for a reversal. As you can see, we started to form sort of a descending where we did break the low and retrace. If that continues, I am looking for that reversal to the upside. And I'm looking for a large push up, a flag, or a large push down, and then a nice flag to go short. That's about it. Had a 1% loss on this flag right here. Really like the trade. It fit my plan 100%, and I would take it again. But then the price action just became messy, and as I said, I'm not trading today, so waiting for the Monday open. And now for the Aussie and the Japanese yen, this one is really messy. So maybe some people were looking for a reversal at this point. They were seeing this push, pullback, another push, pullback, and then another big push, and then we had this sort of a descending at the bottom. As we can see right here, we broke the low, retraced, broke the low, retraced, left a huge wick, and then we did reverse to the upside and got some nice momentum. But on this pair, reversals for me personally don't usually tend to work out, so I really need to be careful with the reversals. What I want to see is a nice clean defined descending, and then I would consider maybe taking a reversal, but this was just not looking good enough. So at this point, I was definitely not looking for a reversal trade. I wanted to see some cleaner price action. And then it would be a 1% loss also, so it's good that I stayed out of this one. Because price reversed, we broke the low, retraced, and this one is actually signaling to us a range currently, since we broke the low, retraced, broke the high, retraced, broke the low, and retraced, which is actually signaling this expanding range, and this usually ends up giving us more range bound price action. This is what I am expecting, and since I am a trend trader, I am staying out of any sort of indication of a range. What I am looking for is a large push up and then a trade, or a large push down and then a nice trade also, or a nice clean descending, as I said. Then I would consider taking that reversal, or a nice clean ascending, something like this, and then I would consider taking a reversal to the downside, look for a short trade. So that's about it. This one is not looking good. It's actually looking very range bound, since we had this sort of an ascending going into a descending, and we had this messy price action right here. So yeah, that is it for the forecast. Hopefully we start to get some moves next week, and maybe the NFP news today will also push the market. So we will see. I hope you enjoyed the forecast, and I will see you guys on Monday.